All right, you guys, let's do another example of solving quadratics using the completing the square method. This time our problem is 3x squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. So the first thing I'm going to do is write our problem. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is check that our leading coefficient is 1. In this problem it isn't, it's 3. So before I begin, I'm going to have to divide each term by 3. Okay, that's going to give me x squared minus 1 over third x minus 2 thirds equals 0. Okay, the next thing I'm going to have to do is move my constant term to the other side of the equation. So I'm going to add 2 thirds to both sides. So that's going to give me x squared minus 1 third x. I'm going to draw in those blanks. I have 2 thirds blank. All right, remember, to get the quantity that goes in the blank, you're going to say b divided by 2 squared. Okay, so our b in this case is negative 1/3 divided by 2 squared. Okay, now because it's a fraction, okay, negative 1/3 divided by 2, instead of dividing that by 2, I can multiply by the reciprocal, which would be 1/2. I can multiply across, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So that's negative 1 over 6. And then I can square the top and the bottom, which is going to give me 1 over 36. Okay, so 1 over 36 is going to go in both of the blanks. Okay, now remember, the left-hand side you should be able to factor. And the right-hand side, you should be able to combine. Okay, so when we do that, we are going to have x, right? And remember, the number that goes in there with x is going to be b divided by 2 before we squared it. So for us, that's negative 1 over 6. Okay, squared equals, now we need to combine those numbers on the right-hand side. So in order to combine them, we're going to need a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply 2 thirds by 12 over 12. Okay, so that's going to give me 24 over 36 plus 1 over 36. And when I add those, that becomes 25 over 36. Okay, now it's set up for us to use the square root method. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So when I do that, it's going to give me, all right, x minus 1 over 6 equals, plus or minus, the square root of 25 over 36 is 5 over 6. And then I need to solve for x, so I'm going to add 1/6 to both sides. So x equals 1/6 plus or minus 5 over 6, okay? Because both of those quantities have the same denominator, I can combine them. So remember, that's 2 answers. The first answer is 1 over 6 plus 5 over 6, which would give me 6 over 6, which gives me 1. The second answer would be 1 over 6 minus 5 over 6, which would be negative 4 over 6, which reduces to negative 2 thirds. So my 2 answers are x equals 1 and x equals 2 thirds. Cool.